Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ms. Williams, for being here. Would it be safe to say that NEPA compliance is a really high priority for this administration, particularly for local communities, stakeholders, others to provide input on federal decisions?
Mr. Chair, Senator Cramer, that's a fair question, and I would think yes.
I think so too. Similarly, considering that the first administration priority that you referenced in your opening statement is America the Beautiful or 30 by 30, would you say that's also a high priority?
Mr. Chair, Senator Cramer, yes, the America the Beautiful and the fundamental components of it and this collaborative community voluntary approach is very important.
So does the administration plan on following the NEPA process for 30 by 30, for implementing it, carrying it out?
Mr. Chair, Senator Cramer, I'm sure on specific projects that trigger NEPA, indeed, we will follow the law.
No, this is one big executive order, 30 by 30. Why wouldn't that trigger NEPA when we're talking about tripling the protected acres in the United States? Wouldn't that be a pretty obvious trigger for a NEPA process or some sort of comprehensive review, programmatic review?
Senator Cramer, that is certainly not within my purview at the Fish and Wildlife Service. I think that the NEPA really goes to Council on Environmental Quality, and I defer to their wise counsel.
I just sent a letter to them, so I'll look forward to that. Thank you. It's signed by some other people in the room. As you know, since I came to Congress in 2013, I have heard from literally hundreds of North Dakota landowners that are encumbered with Fish and Wildlife Service waterfowl protection area easements. And their experience has been disastrous through Democratic administrations and Republican administrations alike, almost equally, I'd have to say, where they have had their private property rights trampled on, the service not living up to its contractual agreements, using confrontational enforcement methods like showing up armed with body armor on. And during both our private meeting and your nomination hearing, we've discussed the enforcement of WPA easements. And you stated that you would work with landowners to, quote, get this issue right. Since your nomination process, I've continued to work on the issue as well. I introduced legislation to prohibit the service from entering into a conservation easement of greater than 50 years. We want to give owners of existing easements the opportunity to renegotiate, renew, or even buy out their easement. My question to you then is, since you've been confirmed, what have you been doing to work on remedying my problem? Since I've translated it to your problem.
Senator Cramer, I have been working diligently on this issue, as have many of our staff. We've put, I have somewhere here, I think over just many hours addressing this issue. What we have done, since I have talked to you, and I know that others in the administration also have gone to visit you, we have done a number of things. One, we're finalizing a service easement policy and handbook to address any of the past issues you may have identified with how we enforce our easements. For example, now we have only our refuge staff, not Office of Law Enforcement, go to meet with landowners. We are working through this handbook to make very clear how we want to administer these easements, which I think we do with many landowners. That it's very successful with many, although I understand your concerns. In addition to that, I think we have made progress in these pre-1976 mapping efforts, and I know that over 250 objections we have addressed, and we have changed many of those maps. And we have been pursuing, as you had worked on, this appeal policy that goes through 3 steps: the refuge, the regional director, and then to me. But I certainly very committed to this issue and working with you on it and want to address your concerns.
Have you talked to any landowners affected by an appeal that's gotten to the director level, either previously or recently? And I don't, I'm just seriously in
Senator Cramer, meaning have I met with them one-on-one?
yes, or made a phone call or taken up an appeal personally? Because it does get to your level.
Yes, Senator Cramer, once it goes through the refuge manager, the regional director, which many of them are addressed at those levels, the ones that do come to me, I have not picked up the phone nor have I been asked for meetings, but I'd be happy to work with you, and I'm not, I'm happy to work with landowners.
We might want to dig into that a little more specifically, maybe privately at some point, just because I don't know of a single appeal that's ever been upheld on behalf of the landowner. So the process maybe is better, but I don't know of any. That's not to say there hasn't been one, but I don't know of any. But
Senator Cramer, I can assure you that we have changed through the appeal process. The easements and the delineation, some of them have changed, and we have definitely responded.
thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.